Hey, episode one. Welcome to Woof. What a mouthful. This is our not podcast. I'm Whitney.
Taylor.
There you go. There's Taylor. This is like I said, it's not a podcast per se, but just because we don't have the great equipment for that. So we figured why not do a vidcast instead? It's a way for us to kind of play catch up over the years. So, Taylor, you want to tell us how you came up with this idea?
Yeah, well, it was an idea that turned into a conversation with Whitney, and then here we are. And of course, all this happened during quarantine because we had oodles of time to think about everything and everything and everything. And we don't live in the same state anymore, which is sad. But yay, technology for being able to stay in touch. And as Whitney was saying, catching up, we have found we talk about a lot of stuff and a lot of it is random and a lot of it is topical. Then some of it goes down another rabbit hole. We just feel like others should experience it as well because we can't be the only ones that are like this.
Awkward pause.
Yeah, sorry if my cat is going insane right outside the door. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's going ham.
I believe you.
Thank God. What to expect from this, where we want it to go. This is just conversations about anything and everything from Disney, Harry Potter, the parks, Marvel, our jobs, everything.
Ooh, another one.
All of the things. We're getting used to Zoom and we have learned that if I'm talking, the screen is showing me. If Whitney's talking, it's showing her. But if one of us talks over the other, it makes it very confusing. So you are seeing awkward pauses. And this is our first episode that we will hopefully look back on and go, oh, look how adorable and newbies we were. But as Whitney was saying, the parks, like as in the theme parks. So it will be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And Whitney, what's our Instagram?
Oh, our Instagram. It is Woof. What a mouthful. It's all one giant word because Instagram doesn't let you put spaces in there. So go follow us on Instagram. Our most recent post is the two of us in a far less awkward manner because we're not allowed to talk on there. Taylor, go ahead and break down your intro.
I promise this is going to get smoother. So on my bio, a little blurb, it says I'm a dog mom. And as you can see, this is my baby, Toby. And just so happens to be very on brand with what our channel is named. I'm going to say this was intentional. It was not. As we mentioned, Harry Potter, I am a hybrid between a Ravenclaw and a Hufflepuff, which we wound up calling a Ravenpuff. And pretty sure that sounds like a Pokemon, but I'll take it either way. Christmas magic, the music, the food, the decorations, the movies, Michael Bublé all day, every day. I listen to the music in the car when it's disgustingly hot outside in August and I'm stuck on I-4 in Florida. And it just makes me happy. It makes me a nicer person. So that's just a little bit about me.
Do you still have a Christmas tree up by chance?
I do in the guest room.
It still counts.
I also have the Christmas car scent from Bath and Body Works.
Oh my God.
I love my husband and I made a compromise with him that I wouldn't have the decor everywhere all the time, but it certainly goes up earlier and earlier every year. Right, Toby? The famous puppy is in the house.
I remember one of the first times I came to visit you after I moved away, you had, how big was that tree in your condo?
That was a 9-foot tree and I didn't think it through, but luckily we have very tall friends. So they were in a pinch. If I needed any help, I probably could have called them, but I just dangerously stood on my bar stool like a ding dong. It was beautiful. We put the fall leaves up on the tree for fall, and it was all ready to go and up for the holidays. You even dressed up in the fall leaves. That will be another story.
Yeah. After your lights decided to glow like white hot all of a sudden. That was frightening.
They shine bright before they die.
Oh my God. Well, I'm Whitney. I am no longer an Orlando native. Never was an Orlando native, actually. I don't live in Tennessee anymore either. That's where I'm native to. I am now part of Atlanta, Georgia, and my bio says artist. I went to ETSU for art college and graduated in something. So I didn't completely waste 4.5 years. I now have an Etsy shop. Toby!
Toby's on the screen.
That was the first of many ooh shiny moments we will have on this channel too, I'm sure.
Yes, as you were saying, Whitney, Toby and I are listening.
Oh my God. Oh, he does not like me. Taylor's dog does not like me at all, and that breaks my heart.
Yeah, we rescued him, and he has not so fun of a backstory. So he was abused, and not sure why he's okay with some people and not with others. You're not alone, unfortunately, in not being okay with you. He went to the groomer yesterday, and the gal, he loved seeing her, and she bumped her head on his kennel, and she just had a long day and started tearing up, and he scooted towards her and licked her to make her feel better.
Oh.
It warmed my heart because I was like, oh gosh, where's this story going?
Yeah, I was a little nervous. You're starting to tell that.
Go ahead.
What were we talking? Oh yeah, see, there's that too. That'll happen a lot. I am a Griffin dork. That's probably the best way to put it. I am not I don't think my intelligence is fully realized enough to play into Ravenclaw anymore.
Oh,
I started out as a Gryffindor years ago when like way before Pottermore became a thing, and you could take like the one like janky quiz that you could find online. And then roughly right after I moved away, I retook the quiz, and it was Ravenclaw, which was a huge surprise. Completely restarted everything. I didn't restart everything. I forgot my login. And put me back in Gryffindor year before last. So with all the fandoms and the nerd and everything, that Gryffindor is probably the most accurate. And I am also a cosplayer. I love to dress up and look like somebody different quite frequently in my day-to-day life. It just so happens that cosplay is the acceptable label to put on that. So.
And your costumes are awesome, and it will be really fun to go into more detail in future episodes.
There's one up there. There's one up there. It's way far away. I don't know if all you guys can see that or not, but that was Dragon Con in 2019 because we didn't have one last year because of COVID. I am dressed as Captain Marvel with David Tennant. Oh, that was a good day. That was a really good day.
You had the badass Captain Marvel hair before it was cool. So you're
yeah. Well, you want to tell everybody how we met? That was 10 years ago, man.
I was on a small snowflake in Whoville. But no, seriously, I was in a show at Universal, and we actually met by working there. But before Whitney worked there, she came and saw the show because she knew people in it. And that's the first time I actually saw her. But we met when she started working there. So we have some stories that we'll get into down the line, but you just cannot make up or even imagine in your wildest dreams what entertainment in the theme parks is like backstage, and just the little nuanced type situations you find yourselves in. And when you click with somebody in that world and they're nice, it's really a lovely combo. So I was very grateful to get to know Whitney. We were super tight. And then we lovingly refer to this as the Blip. We had some time apart and grew as individuals and came back together. And we are back again. And part of being back again, thank God we were back before quarantine and all this madness hit, because I just would have been, that just would have added a very sad layer to everything. But it's one of those, it feels like no time had really, I don't know, obviously time had passed and things had happened in our lives, but we came back together like we hadn't really missed a beat after we had caught up and kind of patched over things. So I'm very grateful for that. And Whitney so coined it as the Blip. You might be able to tell that there's some Marvel fandom happening here as well. So for any of you who get that reference, high five. I just freaked out thinking I didn't hit record. I hit record.
Oh my God.
We're going to keep that in real life.
It'll happen at least. Yeah. It'll happen at least probably once a month. We go through that a lot on Marco Polo. Very well phrased and put. And yes, it's like no time has passed at all. Our trips to see each other now, it's exactly the same. The Blip. Yeah. The Blip worked out really well. And it just so happened it was 5 years. So it was perfect, actually. And I think that was another fun way just to kind of soften the not so big blow. So that sounded naughty. We're going to keep that in there too.
Our name is Woof, what a mouthful. That can also sound naughty. So we're just on brand.
Let the jokes fly, man.
You might be hearing
so
old man moans. Please know that's not my stomach. That is my dog. That's not my stomach.
you're hearing one of mine beg at the door over here. You guys are, I'm in my studio currently, and it's a nice way to shut everything out. So, but let's, what do we need to talk about? Gideon. So the first post on our Instagram feed is our very oddly coined mascot for this vidcast. That is Gideon. And Gideon started through a long time ago when I actually lived in Orlando. A friend of mine brought into this lovely world, I don't know if by some of his friends or he himself came up with it, something called dead girling, which is reverse planking from the early 2000s, I think it was. And dead girling it's the opposite. Instead of laying on your front, going rigid, it is just passing out like, a Muppet without a hand in it. It's
I'm sorry.
It's the best description of it, is it not?
A Muppet without a hand. I just pictured Kermit going.
That's exactly what it is.
So perfect, you guys. You have no idea. She'll have to post a girl photo so you can see what she's so you know.
Yeah, I'll post those.
Oh man.
Every now and then, I mean, my Instagram is riddled with them from roughly like what I think 2011 and 12. But where the ghost came about, I found some delightfully idiotic photograph on Pinterest, and it is the ghost sheet, the sunglasses, and I went, who would do that with Taylor? And so we took my last trip in January. We both took sheets and sunglasses into Disney Springs and found the Mickey ears, and there is Gideon. It's just the new iteration of dead girling. She has passed on. She is now under a sheet.
Dead girl has turned into a ghost named Gideon. We have a story.
None of it works, but we're gonna stick to it. There is no consistency with it. Please tell them why his name is Gideon.
I'm like slap happy after your Muppet comment.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So there is Disney Springs was not always named Disney Springs. Disney Village, Pleasure Island, Downtown Disney is how we always knew it. So if you hear a slip up on that, just know we're talking about Disney Springs. There is a bakehouse called Gideons Bakehouse. And there's a location, I think its first one was at the East End Market here in Orlando, which is really small and kind of a shared place with other vendors. And now they have an epically themed one at Disney Springs. And they have delicious cookies and cakes and coffee drinks and candles and other merchandise like shirts. And when we went, it wasn't open yet, but the outside of it looked really cool. So Whitney wound up taking my picture as I was under Gideon's sheet, and I was peeking around like a window from Gideon's, and the person who owns the bake shop actually commented saying something like, "Oh, I always knew my place was haunted." So Gideon is endorsed by Queen Gideon herself, but it just was such a fun, silly thing to do. We had a cast member come up just to make sure we had masks underneath our body mask of Gideon, but it really was fun. And you're right, I would be the person to do something that stupid and fun with you. So thank you for entrusting me with stupidity.
Thank you for helping birth our ghost in a weird term.
Dog/ghost mom. Yes.
Gideon's Bakehouse is known, if you all have not been there, their cookies are near a half pound a piece. And their main cookie is this massive like ball of partially, I don't even know if it's fully cooked dough, and it's essentially wrapped and rolled in chocolate chips, and it has sea salt sprinkled on it. And I don't know about you, Taylor, but I feasted on mine for probably about a week. I love sweets, but I knew that would send me into a fast coma if I ate all of it at once.
I embraced the sugar coma, and I was going to pace it out. And then the pace out wound up being a few hours in one evening. So I think by the time you were gone to your next destination, my cookie was done. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Mine lasted me my entire trip.
See, you're better than me. You and Josh are stronger than I am. You can pace it out and actually be an adult about things and think ahead and go, okay, this will make me feel like this. And me, I'm like, this is so good. And then I'm in a coma.
Oh no, I will one up you there. It may be sweets with you. For me, it's chips. I have zero willpower when it comes to chips. I bought Pringles, namely. Nothing fancy, no crazy flavors. It's not that I won't eat the crazy flavors. It's just, it's the plain ones that get me. I bought the full tube of Pringles, not those little cutesy ones. I was looking for the cutesy ones, but I figured save me from myself. And I got about halfway through a tube in one setting, and my mentality went, if you eat them all now, you're not going to be tempted tomorrow.
I see no issue with that.
The carb coma and the sodium sweats were just, it was not good.
Did you have to chug after all that? Remind me though to tell you later, this might be another good feature for another time, but there is a really cool something to do I just learned tonight with potato chips. Save it for another time, but I think you will enjoy it. And maybe you guys want chips. But yeah, I think the salt on that cookie helped, at least for me, power through it faster, just because it wasn't sweet. But I love that salty sweet combo. And they're hiring. So if anybody's looking for a job in the Orlando area, I am not sure if it's specifically one location or both that Gideon's Bakehouse has, but their website says they're hiring. So I know, especially during this time, probably more people than not are looking for a job or a change in careers. So check them out. It's gideonsbakehouse.com.
They have not paid us to say this. We just really like their cookies.
Exactly. But
they gave us a character name. So indirectly, but they gave us a character name.
We're not going to say yeah.
Oh, Toby.
Say hi, Whitney.
Hi, buddy.
I was puking the other night like your dog. Oh, you hear Riven?
No, well, that one's Haku.
Oh. Yeah,
the
how
horse
many
has
animals?
many interruptions.
Three.
That looks like three. We have a brother-sister cat pair, and we have a 50-pound husky pit bull mix.
And they're all so cute.
And they all each have their own chronic illness.
Aw. Poor babies.
Oh my Lord. Well, we are running on the end of our time slot here. So why don't we do a little wrap up, shall we?
Sounds good.
So we've got our episode recommendation is Gideon's Bakehouse. please go check them out. Another thing to add to that, check their website. They do some deliveries. I don't know if it's just local or if like Erin McKenna's bakery, which was my favorite. They do deliver, I'm pretty sure countrywide. It's limited, but Gideon's Bakehouse is who we're plugging this week. Yeah, so we've got Instagram, Woof, what a mouthful. Please follow us on there. We will be posting whenever we've got upcoming episodes and other things like Dead Girling and more about Gideon this week.
All of our shenanigans. And of course, on YouTube, it's also Woof, what a mouthful. And we would be oh so grateful if you would like our video and subscribe. We are still going to work on our frequency. As you can tell from this video, we are brand spanking new, but very excited for this creative adventure. And we hope to build a little community out of it. And please stay tuned for our next episode. We'd love to see you guys. And if you have any suggestions or ideas that you would like to hear/see discussed, comment below or send us a direct message, a DM, as the cool kids say, on Instagram.
We are not the cool kids.
What? I don't understand. What gave anybody that idea? This was so much fun. I can't wait to do our next episode. Say bye, Toby.
Me too. Bye, Toby.
All right.
Cut that out. That was horrible.